Hello, welcome back to Empowered Now. I'm your host, Colette, Kati, and this is the show where you're going to get some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. You're going to get some stuff for your mental, for your emotional, and you're going to learn how to live life from the inside out versus the outside in. It is the only way to live life if you want to have thriving experiences. Welcome to Empowered Now. I'm your host, Colette Kati. Join me as we talk all things to uplift, encourage, teach, inspire, and empower you to see your best self, to live your best life, and to thrive wherever you are. All right. Hello. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so grateful you guys are here. It makes my whole day to hear your comments on Instagram and to hear my clients saying, oh my gosh, I listened to the episode and I have some questions and I really resonated with this and all the things. So please leave me comments. If you're not doing that in the video on YouTube or in the reviews on Apple and Spotify, I would love to hear your feedback. If you're confused about how to do that, you can do a quick Google search, and it's a free way to support me. It's a free way to give me feedback and support the efforts that I am doing here online, which I hope you know by now. What I'm doing here is to help. It's to lift. It's to inspire. It's to help those of you out there that are still suffering. Life doesn't have to be like that anymore. It gets to be good. We get to start making those shifts one thing at a time, one moment at a time, to start thriving in your life. And I am just a living, walking, breathing testament to that. I came from total despair, depression, suicidal ideations, to a life so good I couldn't have even imagined it for myself. And ironically, it didn't happen while life on the outside looked good to everyone. I looked like I had the most glamorous life ever. Maybe I still do to some of you. I don't know. I love my life. And I love it more now than I ever have. Even if it doesn't look as glamorous, maybe it looks a little bit messier at times. It's good. And I'm living fully in it, in the goodness of it, not the pain. So, this is the show that is going to help you flip that script for yourself. If you're living in pain and suffering and just survival, you're in the right place, because we're learning how to thrive. We're moving there every day, every step of the way. All right. Today's episode is very important because we're talking about the third step in my everyday freedom formula, which is the method that I used to get out of my stuckness. It is the exact thing that I didn't always know. I didn't have a name. I didn't always call it this. But it's the process that I use to get out of being stuck. And I've formulated it for you to make it a little bit easier. I also use the Mastery Method, which was created by Alyssa Nobrega of the Institute of Coaching Mastery. She's incredible and phenomenal. And as I have meshed these things together, it is a perfect storm to bring light and happiness to your life, okay? To set you free. And that's why I call it the Everyday Freedom Formula, because it sets you free. So awesome. Okay? So if you did not hear and by the way, I'm just kind of scratching the surface on these topics in the podcast. If you want the full-on deep version, you'll need to sign up for private coaching with me, which I do have spaces available right now. They are by application only. Read the application carefully and submit it according to, all the things that are in there. And then we can move forward from there. So that being said, as we're scratching the surface here, it is going to help you kind of uncover the idea and what maybe ways that you can take this method into your own life and start utilizing it. So episodes 28 and 29 are the first and second steps to this everyday freedom formula. We're on step 3 today, and that is making moves as the real you. So as we've talked about witnessing yourself, as we've talked about fiercely honoring what you witness, which means bringing acceptance, bringing compassion to yourself and to even the blocks that you perceive as getting in the way, even every situation, every trigger, every moment that could possibly turn you, into a mess. This is how you get free. So once you've done witnessing yourself and fiercely honoring yourself, we move into making moves as the real you. And this one's really fun. It's juicy because often when we're taking action from a place of not honoring ourselves and not witnessing ourselves, we're actually running out of, running. I say running because sometimes it does feel like chaos, right? Your life feels like chaos. You're making moves from a disempowered place, from a place of suffering, from a place of fear, from a place of self-doubt. Those kind of energy, that kind of energy is not empowering. And when we're making moves from that place, our choices, if we can even bring ourselves to make choices, and by the way, not making a choice is making a choice, but they're not aligned. The choices that we make are often not always in our best interest. They're not always helpful to supporting our greater good, or even sometimes the greater good of those around us. Often people that are hurting others are coming from this place of not being able to witness themselves, not being able to honor what their true values and their true guidance system, their wholeness is asking them to do. The actions are disempowered and unaligned when we're not doing the first 2 steps. So once you've done the first 2 steps, you witness yourself and you're honoring yourself. Now your actions become aligned. So what you choose to do is now coming up from a place of honoring your wholeness, knowing that you've got your back, that you are loved, and now you can start making moves from this empowered place. So I know in the last 2 episodes, I used the example of sending our kids off to school and realizing that they didn't bring their lunch and that we're not going to be able to bring it to them. So they're not going to eat lunch today, which is hypothetical, figuratively speaking, because schools always find a way to give kids lunch. But, and I thought about that scenario in this case. And while I feel like it still applies, I think when we are making moves from an empowered place in that scenario, it doesn't even matter what we choose to do. If we choose to, drop everything and go bring them a lunch, we're just doing it from a place of empowerment and kindness and love and not shaming ourselves or judging ourselves or blaming ourselves. Okay, so that's what that would look like. And I feel like today sometimes I have a hard time coming up with examples in my own life. I don't know why. Sometimes there could be a protective block there for whatever reason, because I have shared a lot of my life with you guys online. But I shared something in an email recently on my newsletter. If you're not on there, it's time to join. Go check it out. Link in the bio. And I send out an email every week that I personally write. Sometimes I have help kind of organizing it in a better way because sometimes I get like an ADD brain and it's just one giant long run-on sentence. But these stories and these emails come from my heart. It's what I've been thinking about, what I've been mulling over. Sometimes they're journal entries from my past. Sometimes there's just a lot of different things that come from my heart in these emails. So this recent email that I sent out last week was about something that I am struggling with currently. This is a current struggle of mine. So when I had my children very close together, you guys, it was great. And it was also not very nice of me to do because Gavin graduated high school. He was a senior in 2022, graduated, left, right? Was it 2022? Yeah, that was his graduation year. And then Avia graduates and leaves the very next year. So it was a lot. There was a lot. So Gavin's senior year, he played football, and I love watching football, right? I was also like, okay, this is his senior year. I'm going to focus on him, really going to pay attention to getting videos of him and just really enjoying his last year in his activities and all of the things that he's doing as a senior in high school. And in my mind, Avia, she was a junior, so I didn't pay as close attention to her activities, which she had done cheer for all 3 years of high school. She'd always wanted to be a cheerleader. And so that was what she was doing. So she would be cheering at the games. Gavin's playing football. Love it, right? But I was definitely focusing more on Gavin because I knew I had another year with Avia. Well, so I thought. So the end of the year comes and Avia announces that, I'm not going to try out again. And I was like, what? And I felt so much shame and so much sadness. First of all, I was sad because in my brain, I had this idea of, oh no, I'm not going to be able to walk out with you on senior night. I'm not going to be able to volunteer at all of your things. I'm not going to be able to, like all of the things that I was doing with Gavin, I was thinking I was going to be able to do with Avia her senior year for her activity. Obviously I'm still going to be there for her senior year, but she wasn't going to be in cheerleading anymore, which all of those activities that are so, like you're doing so much for cheer all year long. And I loved it. It was a lot, but I loved it too, because I knew it didn't last forever. Well, now I know, junior year, she's telling me she's not going to do it. And these emotions of grief and sadness, and maybe some of you out there laughing, I think I started to feel a little shame for myself. Like, why am I upset? Why am I so sad that she's not going to cheer? Like, what first world problems, right? But I did. I felt really sad that I was going to miss out on those moments with her. And now, fast forward, Emmy just announced, it is May, right? She just announced that she is not going to try out for dance again. And she has also done dance since she was 11 years old. And I love watching her dance. I love watching her perform. And she's not going to do it next year. So here I am having all these emotions again, which is bringing everything up to the surface of I didn't enjoy it enough. Or did I? Did I enjoy it enough? Did I enjoy every moment? Did I do all the right things? Did I say all the right things? What is this next year going to look like? And I think what it comes down to is I feel like I'm losing my babies. And nobody talks about this. Okay, some people do talk about it. And she's not even graduated yet, but it feels like, oh, a phase has ended, because it has. This beautiful, glorious phase that is stressful, that is exciting, that is also really difficult, but is also really rewarding, is now over. And that can be related to pretty much every phase of childhood, right? When you first have them and they're babies and they're in your arms, and then they start to crawl, and then that phase is over, and now they're in the crawling phase, and then that one's really fast, and then they're walking, and that phase is over, and then you're into this next one. And I know I've said this many times, but parenthood is a constant flow of joy and grief, because you're having those exciting moments and then it's gone. And then another exciting moment, and then it's gone. And you get to watch them grow, and that's the beautiful part of it. But there is a lot of grieving that happens throughout that. So as I applied this, my everyday freedom formula, to this experience that I'm having with Avia, I recognized, and I was able to do it well with Avia as well, but you've got to let yourself feel. That is, witnessing what you're feeling. I'm sad right now. And most of us will just kind of brush off that part, right? Or we start to judge ourselves. We start to shame ourselves. Oh, why am I sad? I should be happy. I should be happy. I should be grateful. I should be, should. We're shoulding all over ourselves, right? It's not pretty. When Avia told me she wasn't going to cheer again, I felt so much sadness. I felt so much guilt because I hadn't paid attention to her like I had wanted to. I hadn't fully immersed myself in enjoying and celebrating where she was and soaking in every moment, as we often say as parents, like, oh, I just need to soak in every moment. How do we do that, right? We can't always do that. And in my experience, it's just being in the moment. That's how you soak it in. You're just there and you witness. You witness your children. You witness yourself. That's how you do it. That's how you soak up the moments, is you witness yourself. And then you bring love into that moment. You bring love and compassion. And that's what I decided to do. I didn't even decide. It's kind of habit for me. I learned to be with myself and witness the problem or the thing, the shame, the guilt, the sadness, and let myself grieve a little bit instead of judging myself, instead of, thinking I shouldn't be grieving over cheerleading. All of the feelings that come up for you are there because you need to witness them. So if you're trying to push them away or tell them that they're not valid or that they're not good enough or that you shouldn't be feeling it, you're only going to make things worse. You're only going to make that ick, that sadness, the shame, and the guilt grow. It's not going away. You're just stuffing it and trying to push it down. And it's like, wait, hey, I need you to see me for a second. I'm here. Witness me. Isn't that what you would want somebody to do for you? Just understand me. That's all you're doing. You're witnessing what's there for you. You're bringing deep compassion, love, and understanding to every part of yourself. The shame, the guilt, the sadness. Be with it. There you are. And there I was. She's not cheering again. So I had to notice these feelings. They came up, it's not linear. It's not like they come up and then they're gone. They came up repetitively, especially throughout the next year as she was growing and moving on in other ways. And I was still grieving, not having that part of my life with her anymore, I guess. Traveling to competitions and watching her cheer and seeing her light up and seeing her try really hard to get that back tuck and just all those little moments. Shoot, I'm doing it again. Where I'm kind of talking about the first two steps because they're kind of like the meat of this, and then making moves. So what I did to really ground this, being able to witness myself and be with myself and bring compassion and love into what I was doing, fiercely honoring myself, and what I was experiencing, then I needed to make moves as this grounded and aligned person that is now seeing herself with love, that is now understanding why she is sad, understanding that she's sad because her daughter is growing up, and that's hard. It's difficult to watch your kids grow up. It's beautiful, yes, and it's difficult. It's always a yes and. Having kids is always one side of the coin and the other side of the coin. It's not ever one or the other. It's both. There's great joy and there's sadness. There is great love, great love, and there's grief. It's just the way it is. It's a yes and. So coming home to myself and finding moves to make, taking action now from a place of alignment. And I kind of want to pause here for a moment because when you're taking action from a place of disempowerment, and I think I've already said this, I've actually filmed this episode a few times. So I could be going in circles already because I can't remember what I said and what I didn't say already. But you know what? It never hurts to reiterate. When you're not in alignment, okay, when you haven't witnessed yourself, you're not honoring yourself, your moves and your choices are not empowered. Okay, you're going to continue to judge yourself. You'll continue to guilt yourself. You will continue to regret. And that's one of the hardest parts of raising children or raising yourself, is letting go so that you don't have any regrets. This is your first time through this part of life, okay? And it's always your first time through this part of life, through the now. We're in the now and we're flowing through it. I've never been in the future. I've been in the past and I can't change it. So why are we regretting? The only power we have is right now. Any action, anything that can be changed or shifted or moved or let go of happens right now. It's not happening in the future. It's not happening in the past. It's right now. So when you are aligned now with your truest self, every action that you take is more empowering. Every decision that you make based on this loving energy, this place of wholeness, is a choice or a decision that is moving in a direction that you want to go. You're now making choices from a place of alignment, from a place of empowerment, from a place of your values, the values that you've chosen for yourself. And that's when life gets to feel and look really good. So how this looked with Avia was, now we're not in cheer anymore. I let myself grieve that. I let myself be sad about it because I was. I didn't blame her. I understood she's ready to move on. And I could have been like, why are you taking this away from me? Why are you doing this to me? She's not doing anything to me. She's just making her choices according to what she feels aligned with. And so I get to celebrate her in her ability and her choices that she gets to make. So, and by the way, often our kids will make choices that maybe we don't align with. It doesn't mean that our job is to force them to make a choice that does align with us. It means our job is to let them make their choices as we make ours. We get to align ourselves with what our values are, and we get to make our choices. So many parents live their lives living through their kids, trying to make choices for their kids, trying to force their children to make choices. It's the outside in. Can you feel it? My child needs to make this choice in order for me to feel okay. It's disempowering. So, we did many things that year to celebrate Avia. She often says that she probably wouldn't have moved to Los Angeles to pursue her dream of acting and the other dreams that she has there without making that choice to take a break from cheerleading, because it's so immersive and she was so in it that she would not have been able to do the things to prepare for that. We took a trip to Los Angeles, her and I, because I had a business trip, and I just invited her to come with me. And she would not have been able to do that had she been doing cheer. So I looked for opportunities to embrace the phase of life that she was in and that she was choosing for herself, and still stay connected to her and still honor and almost, I was going to say dive in with her, but that's not necessarily what I did. But it was like, I listened to her and I heard like, she actually has bigger dreams than cheerleading, and tell me about them. Like, I'm excited. This is cool. And I'm hoping that I can continue to do that with Emmy as well. I'm still a little bit in the grieving phase because I really loved watching her dance. She is so talented. And all of my kids in their chosen paths, I'm so proud of. I'm so proud of the just the passion and the fire that they all have to make things happen for themselves in their lives. And I'm really grateful for that. And that's the cool thing about parenting. That's the cool thing about this everyday freedom formula, is that now you're not using your fears and insecurities to project onto your children so that they're now either pulling away from you because you're being overbearing, or they're now being disempowered in their own lives because of the choices or because of your disempowerment. Do you see it? If you're not seeing it, please message me. I would love to go into this in more detail and more depth with you. But this is all the time that we have today. I'm hoping I made that clear. So taking actions, making moves as the real you, that's when life looks incredible and feels incredible. It's not just a surface level trying to make choices and do things when you have an internal system that is sabotaging you the whole way. This everyday freedom formula is a way to align yourself back to your wholeness and to remind you who the F you are, right? And then you start to get to make moves as you. It's powerful. I know we'll go into more depth in future episodes and in other places, but this is it for today. If you want to start living the everyday freedom formula on a deep level and have many different tools to help support you and experiences that I will guide you through, apply for my private coaching program. It is a 6-month transformational program that will teach you the tools and methods and ways to move your life from the inside out instead of the outside in, to release all of that gunk and that stuckness that is keeping you in a disempowered place. Apply now if you are ready and if this is calling to you, and stay tuned for all the other goodies that I am announcing this year. I'm excited. Zip it. Okay, I love you guys, and please message me. I would love to hear your thoughts, and leave in the comments on YouTube any of your if you have any examples or you guys can relate to this, because I've definitely I'm still going through it. I'm still going through it, but I am witnessing myself and choosing to honor who I am, and that's when the actions become aligned, and I'm grateful for that. Okay, love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching Empowered Now. If anything you heard today resonated with you and you want more, please like and subscribe so that you won't miss an upload. You can also follow me on social media at Colette Kati. And if you're interested in working with me more closely through coaching or other opportunities, go to my website, colettekati.com. It is my hope that you will continue to come back and experience for yourself the benefits of choosing an empowered life. Your feedback and your experience are very important to me, so please take a moment to connect with me in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on today's episode, ideas for future topics, and ideas for guests that you would like to see. And as always, thanks for your time, support, and your courage to live empowered now.